Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM. The Street 919 FM.
views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
Shalom. The Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under commanding General Yohana will be on the street 91.9 FM every Monday from 7:05 p.m. to 8 p.m. bringing you the truth according to the Bible. The ISUPK is a non-profit faith-based community organization that will respond to the plagues that's affecting blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We also have programs such as education, both adult and youth, food distribution, rehabilitation, both drug and alcohol, mentoring, counseling, and spiritual support. Remember, tune in every Monday on 91.9 FM, 7:05 p.m. Shalom. Shalom.
Shalom. There you go. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge here, under commanding General Yohana, right? We've been teaching the truth that so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Indians is the Bible people, you understand? Them who you're reading about in them records, man like King Solomon, man like King David, man like Christ, man like Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that we forefathers, that is we, you understand? Man like Joseph, a Puerto Rican, you understand? That we brothers them now. Right? And what we come on the radio station to do is to help the people understand what is the solution to black people problems. What we supposed to do as a people, understand? Why it is, you understand? We made that toll so high, and how to reverse that, how to change that, how it reached so in the first place, and how we just get out of that. So that is what we're going to touch on today. With me in the studio, we have our brother here, understand? Officer Shah, big up yourself, brethren. On the inside, you don't know, all the big up all the area. Feel free to call in, you understand what we're going to touch on today. We done reach 400 murders and climbing already. You understand? We're in real madness. You follow? Every week is 8 man gone down, you understand? Girl, thing, woman, child, whatever the case is. Because something wrong, you understand? We don't have structure in place, we don't have rules in place, you don't understand how to resolve issues, you understand? You don't understand we ain't supposed to hold no grudge against each other, and we ain't supposed to be petty and childish, but that is the mind frame that we in because of who ruling over we. Who influencing we, understand, to do this nonsense. That is why there's fine politicians coming up on platform and talking about personal issues and them kind of thing. You follow? Well, thing that ain't supposed to be happening and kicking about it and them kind of thing. Them things supposed to be a shame. You follow? And a man using that as a defense. That is madness. That is to show you how, you understand, how little down we become. How infantile, you understand, mentally we is as a people. If that is how we leaders are doing. So-called leaders and them, you follow? And that is what them do understand either, because them feel, you know, I mean, a degree is mean that you're wise enough, you understand, to lead people. You understand, you teach for 50 years. That thing, you know what I mean, I think that qualified to teach people. That is not the case. If you don't understand what's going on in people's life, you understand, you definitely have no impact on them. You cannot help them come out of the challenges they face. You cannot help them resolve the issues as a people. And that is what we lack in, you understand, we lack in proper leadership. Leader is not a word. You follow, is the characteristics of a person, right? So what you're going to understand now is why is this thing happening. Because this never sink in the so-called black, Hispanic, Native Indian man head in Trinidad, Tobago, Jamaica, Grenada, Venezuela, Colombia, all over the place, wherever we is, this ain't really hit home yet. If it had hit home, we'd have been flocking to Commandant General Yohana and the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge because of what we just do. And we understand now what the hell going on. If we also it out, a little more delay, you understand? We get into the first scripture, Baba Kisha Warrior. Call me the first scripture.
Job chapter 9 and verse 24.
Go ahead.
The earth is given into the hands of the wicked.
The earth is given to the hands of the
wicked.
Then we have the people understand something. Wicked in this, you know, this talk. The Lord now letting us know, right? When he take the hands off, because he doesn't tell we already what will happen if we don't obey him, right? So there are consequences and it has rewards for actions, right? So since we didn't like the rewards he was getting from the Most High, when Adam was nice, the garden was nice, it didn't have all the repercussions in the sense of not listening. Since we didn't like that, you follow? Now we end up under the hands of the wicked. So the Lord letting you know, you understand, the people, not spirits and reptilian and all kind of garbage, not that people. The instinct, you understand, the characteristics of the people that rule over us is wickedness. There is the wicked. Read it again, Baba Gosha. Tell them where you're reading from too.
Job chapter 9 and verse 24.
And everybody know Job is an upright man, right? Right? All kind of different things. There are real upright men in the Bible, right? But if Brother Job now telling me this, you understand, as a prophet now, he's saying the earth is given into the
hands of the wicked.
Hands of the wicked, right? And
he covered the faces of the judges.
He covered the faces of the judges. Job had right judgment. You know this, you understand? That's why he stick with the Most High. Abraham had wise judgment. They had good judgment. Jacob, all of them, you know what I mean? Isaac, King David, King Solomon up to points. Men show a lot of, you understand, well-rounded traits all over, all how, when they stick with the Most High. Imagine this, right? In King Solomon time, the only uprising they had was one, and for a 40-year period of time, there was no wars, there was no crime, there was no murders. Men wasn't doing what they want. Men wasn't on the corner, you understand? And I reckon this gang and I reckon that gang is one order that rule in the earth, and what the Lord say. What the Lord say goes. Simple as that. You rise up and we just shut you down quick. That is what it's supposed to have. It ain't supposed to have this man and he grabbing for power here and there's drugs here and everybody laughing. All the other races them laughing because them just funneling the team and them sitting down and rocking back here. Them making residual income off our destruction. You follow? And that is what happened. I find the place quiet. It's extra quiet as we started to talk the truth now. And here's what we need to understand. This is reality. We got to come out of Disney World and Disneyland and start to deal with the reality to understand what we must do as our people. You notice we ain't talking about pick up and gun yet. We ain't talking about, you understand, sell no drugs yet. You notice we talking about understanding exactly what's happening so that you now can take your spirit, your love, your care, your attention, you understand, your loyalty away from the people that continue to abuse you. You call that Stockholm Syndrome, you understand? You have a traumatic bond with your, me and my brother was reasoning this morning, big up Officer Makakobal, you understand? You have a traumatic bond. Black people have a traumatic bond with society. And that is why, you understand, we just face this kind of madness. That is why we are allowing these things to happen to us. There's one thing to work for somebody, there's another thing you follow to kind of want to cuddle up with them and like you want to go in bed with them. You want to live in the house and them kind of nonsense. Don't do that. The Lord trying to tell you something. This is a correction rod, which you was never supposed to face. I never wanted that as a good father. Which good father want to throw out, you understand, all his people, all he train them outside, you follow, and let them face the cold. Which father want to do that? No father. But if you can, you understand, what you call it, respect the rules of the house. You know what happen? You got to face outside there because you'll poison the rest of the house. The Lord didn't want that. He don't want, you know, the house could be empty. He don't care. Once the house remain intact, because a standard must be set. As they like to say, if you don't live for something, you'll die for anything. If you don't stand for something, you're going to die for anything. The Lord not about that. You're not living a life with people. You understand? But the religious leaders, you understand, and society have a feeling that there's some other way that you could roll the dice to the Lord, you understand, that you could play Ludo and bingo, you know what I mean, and play way and lotto. That is not how the Most High does operate. Cause and effect. That is why, you understand, it have breeze, this, that, ants, this. That's why it's in place. Not for you to enter into some magical land some way. Well, you feel free to call into the radio station today, now we have it. All right, we're going to read a status to say what's going on here, right? This is today from the Daily Express, right? You're going to read some here. Murder toll hits 400, acting police commissioner McDonald Jacob. The 2022 murder toll has reached 400 and climbing. Last year at this time, this is what, September the 5th. The 5th day of September, right? Last year at this time, 254 people had been murdered. We're not talking about accidents here. We're not talking about drownings and, you know, and comorbidities and COVID-19 and other things. We're talking about murders. We're talking about, you understand, what you call this thing? Premeditated murder. Premeditated killing, sorry. Not a righteous killing, not self-defense we're talking about. We're talking about murders. Well, I mean, you don't know the entire situation, but it's classified under murders. You follow? This ain't good. And when you look at the numbers, you follow, you'll see which race it's affecting. That is the only reason why we're on the radio station today, because of the pandemic. This is madness. You follow, we're spiraling out of control. Nobody has the answer except the Lord, and he gave it to the men in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Go and ask anybody else how to fix it. Why didn't fix it before? All this money you're spending, all the money and tithes and donations and all these different things you're giving to everybody else under the sun. No representation, no solutions, no nothing. So if you want to play what you call Russian roulette, go ahead. So-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man and woman. For those that want to come back to sanity, you understand? That door is fully open. The Lord open with open arms. That's like any good father. Just take your cocktail like a big man and say, you're going to write, I acknowledge what it is I do, and I go and make sure I get back up. Caller, we just see your call there, right? So call back again, please, right? Like we raise back up them lines there. We're going on the phone line down. The It's silent. That is why we can't hear it. No problem. You can fix that. Right, so call back, please. Right, we missed the call. I see 4 missed call from one person. You understand? I'm sorry we didn't catch your call there. Go ahead. Feel free to call in again, right? We will definitely get it, you know. All right? So in November last year, the country's murder toll crossed 400 in November, while the year before, in 2020, the entire toll for the year was 394. Like it's a race to kind of climb the numbers and them. What happened? There's the men that we grew up with. These murder, these killings and all that. All right, the call coming in. We're taking it here now, right? Afternoon times caller, how going on?
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, sir, good afternoon. What happening?
Yeah, to the Goodly panel, the I-60 panel there.
Yeah, brother.
So, you know, I agree with some of the things, but I doesn't agree with some of the things also.
Brother, I ain't lying to tell you. I that's good news. Yes, somebody,
Right.
at least you're objective, you understand? Because you ain't just going with everything. And that ain't making no sense. Prove everything. The Bible say that too. Prove all things. Hold fast to that which good. So I want to hear, you understand, you coming through and you want to know, well, boy, how I could be part of the solution. That is all you want to know. Or any question, no problem at all. Feel free to ask any questions. We will answer it or direct it to our next different direction. Go ahead, brother.
Bro. Well, I consider myself a non-conformist. I did life skills when I was doing my heavy machinery program, and the life skill teacher told me to told all of us to choose a phrase that best represents your character. And it had different phrases. I can't even remember the others. The only one I saw was non-conformist to the norm. Mm-hmm. And that's how I just rule.
Well, I like that because this place, if they call today normal, I ain't conforming one hell. I ain't conforming a backside. I don't care. Kill me.
Yeah,
I'm serious. I'm dead serious too. That this is no game.
Belief system.
Yeah, this is madness.
There was something, I said on the radio, I wouldn't be too long.
Straight.
There were some red ants and some black ants living in a bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Peacefully, they're going about their business, they're making the colony, the thing, they wherever, the thing, and they're building up thing. And the person who had the ants in the bottle took up the bottle and shook it.
Mm.
The red ants thought it was the black ants and started attack them, and the black ants thought it was the red ants and started attack them.
Right and conquer. Right.
The origin of humanity's problem is not of human origin, both psychologically and both physically. In the old time, Bibles had pictures. All the stories of all ancient times show you that always, there isn't a good story about humanity in none of the philosophies that exist on the earth. It is always the downtrodden and the person and the oppression of the human being. And the long time Bibles had paintings, and they used to show you the type of beings that do not like humans and does exploit humans on what we will call biblical proportions.
If they have pictures of them, the thing is, where them same beings is, if human beings, the people that we see on the face of the earth today, is not the cause and effect of what we're seeing. I need to see one of them in a police uniform in the States or down here. I need to see one of them same creatures that we talking about.
This is this. They operate also in the spiritual world.
I had to see no problem, man. Remember, he's a non-conformist too, so you had to bear with me, right? I had to see one of them things, and for me to see, well, I could put the blame somewhere because I can't put the blame on something you follow that ain't existent. Here I say, as a non-conformist too, as a non-conformist as well, here I saying, I take responsibility for letting down regard. For we dropping the ball as a people. I go in with my race, and I doing that because the Lord say, understand, that is what you must do. You must acknowledge what you do.
All visible principles is governed by imperceivable and invisible principles, partner. If you understand what I'm saying. Now, the whole thing about it is that the human race's conscience has been hijacked. Violence it was thought to the humans. It was a thing that was not of our origin. But I would take up holism. But here is the scene, Solia, a true leader does bring out the leader in every individual that they speak to.
Correct.
The equality we're speaking about. And the thing about it is that,
there's nothing, but I must disagree with you because this is a dangerous thing. From the time we say equality, you follow, there's nothing equal on the face of the earth. The Lord letting us know
all things are, and that is what we have to teach. And therein lies the absolute power of the knowledge of God. When you within your personal self understand that what's taking place here right now, nothing could exist without the energy proceeding from God itself. It's a little explanation, but I can't get into it this evening. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Remember everything. I feel 100 because I wanna, if I could, because for the sake of the callers to understand what you're talking about as well, right? Energy just meaning you follow. There's forces on the earth. The Lord call it spirits, right? So you see, you move over the spirit of the water, that is energy. You understand? Molecules, all of them different things, right? Everything have a use for it, just like the trees, just like the birds, just like that. It have evil spirits as well. That is just go out there like fire and Tita wild beast and all that. Just to simplify it so that you don't feel that we're going too far off or there's some kind of strange thing or there's some kind of tinfoil cap.
To show you that we have the control, but we do not know. Everything begins with reformatting the consciousness of the human being. There is nothing that exists outside. There is no gun that exists now that was not on the television and a person did not wish for it to come to them and it reached to them. You understand what I'm trying to say? And that is the hidden power of the human being, and our consciousness has been hijacked into thinking what we desire at this point in time as far as materialism is concerned, which most religions and spiritual people are tied with godliness. Well, material things have nothing to do with spirituality and true spirituality, but everybody does say you does be suffering because of this and that and the other and all that, but materialism is not a yardstick.
You see the word you say?
In terms of you understanding.
You must separate the two.
Everybody's preaching a wrong doctrine right now.
No, here God is not that. You understand the difference, but you can't say it without explaining it. We had to separate materialism from material things. Because we just live on food, you understand? We just live on these things. Certain things, status, that give people, that's not, status, right? Yeah, right? Status, that give people self-confidence. Some people's status is in Jordans and Bugattis and all of that. Some people status is I being able to go and see the nature and all that. Is status. That's not, if I may, no, that's important. That's not, bear with me, right?
Go ahead.
Because the callers and them, what we're saying as leaders, as people that want to be leaders, you follow, and leading homes and leading communities and all of that, you have to be very mindful that not everybody understand what you're saying. Neither is anything that come out a man's mouth, you understand, true unless it's been proven. You follow? So we have to be very careful what it is we say.
If you are a spiritual person, you must bring out what you have discovered as a spiritual person. You have to encourage the person that you're speaking to that does not know about spirituality to let them know you have the same thing inside of them that you are portraying, and they now have to go internally and search for the power. Partner, maybe somebody else want to call, but I will call and I will try to see if I can get my perspective across.
No, well, here go on. Remember, we have a number. We have a number and then it had the page, right? Remember, you could call and messenger all kind of different things. The Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge Trinidad number is 2905173 because this talk turned out a little too high. And that is now we get into the basics.
No, it's not high. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, it is high. This talk high for the regular man. I wouldn't do that. I would not go and introduce myself. You don't say this? No, brother. That's no. If I may, with all due respect, I love you, brother. Virgin, I really love you. I ain't like to tell you. I rather you call and things like that, but I'm telling you straight.
Respect.
You know what I mean? Out of real love, you know what I mean? You're going. People need to what's the everyday things and them, how to fix them problems and them. Because this really and truly can't really help them
do it
fix
when
that.
we make them understand that.
But that is over time. That is over time. They not. You can't go and get a baby meat. Them don't understand. They can't spell spirituality properly. You know what I mean? If I could barely pronounce it, right? And I have a little bit of thing in my head. You understand? So yeah, you want to be mindful. It has certain things about.
We go talk, bro. We go talk.
You don't know. Likewise. You don't know, right? Love in your house again.
Right,
continue to call.
Nice talking to you. Respect.
Thanks again. Likewise. You don't know. Likewise. Much appreciated, Bridget. Right? Straight. Yes, I. All right, call out. You understand the call lie, but let me go back to what it is. You know what I mean? The way the scripture is talking about now, because the Lord doesn't send us, He doesn't send a basic pattern of what really taking place and how to come out of it, right? But here we have to understand what really taking place, and we have to put two and two together. If it is not, you understand, the people that ruling over us, as the scripture said, the earth given into the hands of the wicked, then who it is? If we could get to that, if you want to put something somewhere, we have to see, okay, what it is then. If it is not the so-called white man, if it's not the colonial master, who is it then? Because everything have a cause and effect, or else why we breathing, why we living, why we going to work, why we doing this? Why we driving, you understand? Why it have cars? Why it have horses? Why the animal? Why it just feel hungry? Why it just feel thirsty? Everything have a cause and effect, and we must put the blame where it belong. We taking the blame itself, but here what the Lord trying to tell us. Give me John chapter 10 and verse 10, Baba Gusha. The Lord trying to help us understand something. Basic principles, basic things right in front of our eyes, and here's what we have to stop do. We have to stop lying, understand to ourselves, and lying about what taking place. Stop lying and saying Santa Claus real, and the tooth fairy real, and all these different garbage. It's taking away people from we call accountability. That is something they follow that loss in society, especially among women, because they've been treated a little bit different, right? You know, you can't lie to your daughters and them, your mothers and your sisters, you follow? You have to tell them the truth. These things are them critically important. You have the warrior? Baba Gusha.
John chapter 10 and verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
The thief cometh not, but for to steal, and to kill, and to destroy.
No, well, but I never see a ghost thief something yet. Steal something and destroy nothing yet. I never. It is the spirit in something. The spirit in an animal, let's do something. You never see no spirit, all them large bless talk and all them shippiness. You're not seeing that doing a thing. If that was the case, on command it would happen. We'd be seeing that like every day. All these wise, all these so-called fairy tales and them, you had to come out of that. These is the things in them that murderers and liars and pedophiles and all of that. That is the things that is used to shift the blame off of them, and how you thinking and looking, scraping everywhere for these magical beings. And you know very well as a man touched the child. You know very well as a woman touched the little boy. You follow? You notice it was some leader, some so-called religious leader, some so-called leader and thing who do it. They notice some institution backing them and then making them feel, you follow, that it's okay, that you're pardoning these people and them, but you're pouring a man who have a little bit of nut. We're not supposed to have no marijuana in the first place, a little bit of cocaine, you're putting them under the jail. As soon as you touch them, and these heinous crimes people passing with, yes, they're shooting up schools and going to jail for 3 years and 5 years and 8 years. And men, you follow that do grievous bodily harm, 25 to life, or some other small crime. And that's something that they get away with the next man because they don't have leadership in their communities. They don't have representation. They have nobody sitting down with them and letting them know, you see this here, that is not how we just solve this. You follow, we just sit down, you have a disagreement, nothing wrong with having a disagreement, but we don't reach to killing each other. You follow, we not, you understand, under so much oppression to where we boiling over. These things, you follow, these psychological mechanisms, and them is what causing destruction in our communities. We will take this next call here. Afternoon times caller, what's going on?
Yeah, good afternoon. Listen to a little about the third week now and things. Anything echo in there?
Oh gosh, say again.
I'm a radio and I'm a low down the volume right now.
All right, go ahead, now. You go ahead. Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What is the reason why they are here on the features for?
These men set up. That is a trap, and that is what we had to see. You see what you're saying there, brother? Right? If I may, real quick, I ain't gonna take up too much of your time, right? If we may, these men and them set up as trap for you to go through the funnel, to continue so, and they set up as people that you admire. They wearing the Gucci, they wearing the this, the that, the other. Nothing wrong with these things, and them, but when they overindulge in this, and this is me, and if you ain't doing this, you ain't saying nothing and all them different things and them. Nah, let a man rock where he want to rock, let a man do that, but don't say that this is the status and the works that coming along with them, because behind closed doors is all manner of evil, and then next, the man who want to do evil too, he'll get a pass, and they'll encourage people to do more evil so that he'll go on. Everybody not guilty, so everybody part and parcel. Like that is what has happened. Go ahead. Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
His people,
right.
He mentioned it, is the 12 tribe of Israel, right? Which is black people.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Good. He also was, remember Esau and Jacob?
Right.
Right. Remember Esau and Jacob? Right. Esau wanted to kill Jacob.
Right. Correct.
Right. In that same, in Hebrews code where Yah is showing, his heavenly Father is showing both Esau and Jacob, he was warning them about the fallen angels. Remember in the Bible,
No, that ain't there. Sorry.
mentioned about the fallen angels and them.
Right, but this now, give me, because that concept, let me allow you to speak first, right? That concept, we have to be very mindful of what it is we're saying, because people feel that fallen angels is some mystical being. Fallen angels, like as a messenger, there's fallen angels talking about Israelites.
But listen to this, eh? You remember, it about time when he said it didn't have no Chinese man, no white man, just black people.
Well, why? So where Cain remember?
This is in the beginning.
No, remember Cain went to another land, to the land of None, and got a wife, eh? So, you understand? So we we are gone. You see them set up leaders and them? That is how this confusion is coming, because the Bible is very practical. It's just we believe in all. They taught us a lot of mysticism about the Bible, not practicality, and it how people live in there.
Bible is true.
No. Everything in the Bible is true. You understand? It's the people, is the liars that telling is the liars that telling their story about the Bible. Why people believe that the Bible ain't true, but the Bible is very practical.
Okay, this vision of the Bible we're reading, right?
King James version. Right.
Right. When this version of the Bible was printed?
Now, in 1611, King James authorized a translation of it, right? There's two different groups of scholars.
My question, right? When African people was coming when African people was on the Middle Passage on the slave ship, right? I'm coming up now because I keep going back and like it, you know, and I don't want to tie up all here.
No problem.
African people were speaking one language.
Hebrew. Before we got conquered, we were speaking Hebrew. In the 1600s, at that time, we were speaking Hebrew.
And we had Hebrew names, right?
Yeah, correct. Look this book here.
And when you read a certain
I'm glad I work with this book here.
Bible.
Kola, I know if you're seeing me, right? I'm putting it on the camera for them to see. You see this book here? This book here on page 84. Let me just double check, right? Read something for that real quick. 74 or 84? I think it's 84, page 84, right? From Babylon to Timbuktu here, telling us, you understand, when before we get captured, what was taking place. And this is a prophecy in Luke chapter 21, right? I think it's 21 or 17, where Christ talk about the same thing here that this author reading about here, Babylon to Timbuktu. This is a piece of history and archaeology that backing up what the Bible is saying. Again, the Bible is very practical and is the only book with prophecies, you understand, that actually come to pass. So we in this school, you understand, the scholars, the men above us taught us, you understand, to put these things together so people understand that is reality. And there's no this set of garbage. We just debunk all the lies so that people get a clear picture of what actually happened or what does happen. A realistic flow or what really taking place.
Right. You understand? I listen to what you say, right? But listen to this, you understand? Do you know it's at that time where it's only African people on the face of the earth?
No, that ain't true.
Do you know that, right?
No, that ain't true. Not only dark races, remember, because the Lord say, remember, there's nothing new under the sun. He know exactly what he's saying. Right. Because Esau, hear what, right? I can't say that there's only African people, which and we're not African, we're Israelites. But you understand, there was a time on the earth when they didn't have red people, pink people, the so-called oppressor, the Caucasian race. His birth was in Genesis 25, that is Esau. Red all over like a hairy garment. So when they started talking there, I say, right, are we talking about? Bring it out, brother.
Right, but listen, you understand?
Right.
The 12 tribes of Israel, right?
You're right. Go ahead.
Who is the 12 tribes of Israel?
That's Jacob 12 sons.
Who is the people in the 12 tribes of Israel?
That's Jacob 12 sons. Jacob and Esau? Yeah. Jacob had 12 sons. You follow? Which is the heads of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel today, which is the race of Israel. You follow?
Right.
Like we in the Caribbean here is the Benjamites and that's one of Jacob's sons. Go ahead.
I want to ask you a question. Which part of the 12 tribes of Israel was in those days?
I mean, we had lands, we call it on the northeastern side of Africa, or the so-called continent, that is the land of Canaan, right? On that time, right on the what you call them, geographical maps and them, go right now. If you look online right now on Google.
That before the draw the world map you're talking about, because remember the draw world map and divide.
All kind of different, all kind of shippiness they calling it, right? But what's saying is this. That passage there, that part there, you'll see the land of Benjamin, you'll see Judah, the land of this one, the land of that one. All the 12 the sons of them.
Located with them?
The northeastern side, the northeast, the Middle East. The Middle East there, that region there. The original name for the place is Mesopotamia, Sumer and Akkad.
Right.
You understand?
Right. Even part of Spain, Portugal, all them places was black people, you know. If you go real
What,
back
you see the 1600s? King James is a black man. He authorized the translation because that's his language of his people. You follow? That Bible is the historical records of so-called black people. That is the time when we were still ruling. Before, you understand, before basically.
In your King James Bible, didn't the Heavenly Father was warning, you understand, Jacob and Esau, who
time and
two
time
black
over.
men. Look at that. It's a black people who is clear skin, you know.
Right, correct.
I'm not doubting that.
Albino and all that.
About, yeah, it have a part in your King James Bible, right? Where the Heavenly Father is warning Esau and Jacob, and he was telling Jacob and Esau about the fallen angels, and he was saying, you understand, that Esau generation, you can read it in your King James Bible.
Even Genesis 27 and verse 40, Baba
is being mingled and spoiled. Listen, Esau generation is being mingled and spoiled by the seeds of the fallen angels.
That is a fairy tale, big man.
Just now. He said they will have pale skin. They will have pale skin.
But he born with pale skin.
Colored hair and blue eyes.
That is a book. You reading there from? You reading there? That false doctrine came from a book about the Book of Enoch. I read the book about the Book of Enoch before, so I can tell you. I know it come from. And the book in the front of it, it says this is a book about the Book of Enoch. And the Book of Joshua. All them books on them is garbage. I'm telling you.
All right, listen.
That is a man there with the own construct. But here what real though, because we see in the traits of this soul, this same man here on the earth. Give me that Baba Gashad. Genesis chapter 27 verse 40. Hear the scholar. Hear this people. Because the reason why I allowed the talk to go this far is because we have to understand that these people that we're talking about here, they're still on the earth today and they have traits that the Lord warned us about. The same warning you're talking about here, the Lord warned us about these people and them and what to do. You follow? That is why he was trying to kill your brother, because of jealousy and all that. The Bible doesn't say that the elder shall serve the younger, which is the elder is Esau. He ain't want to do that. He don't want to obey. He don't want to follow. He don't want to bring the right sacrifice. He ain't want to do none of that. You follow? That's the same thing with Canaan. With Cain. That's not, if I may. Read the scripture. That's not, brother. Read the scripture there first. That's not, brother. That's not. Hear this. Just before we move on there, right? Because I want to jump.
Yeah.
Read the scripture, Baba Gosha.
Genesis chapter 27, verse 14.
Go ahead.
And he went and fetched and brought them to his mother.
Genesis 27 verse 40.
Yeah. Genesis chapter 27, verse 14.
Yes, now, I'm double check that one, huh? And by sword he shall live. This now. Just now, 1 sec. Yeah, 27. Genesis, check it again. Genesis chapter 27 and verse 40. 40, yeah. All right, no start, right? I get it real quick and get them it real quick.
Genesis chapter 27 and verse 40.
Slow it down for them. Genesis chapter 27 and verse 40, talking about a man here. Read on, Baba Kisha.
And by the sword.
And by what?
And by the sword.
Nah, by hugs and kisses.
And by the sword.
By diplomacy.
And by the sword.
By politics.
And by the sword.
By religion.
And by the sword.
And by thy sword, what?
Shall thou live.
Shall thou live. Esau, the so-called oppressor, the so-called white man, that lives by the sword. That is what the Lord say about this man. In Genesis, in the beginning. That's what Genesis means. Read on. Just now.
And shall serve thy brother.
And shall serve thy brother Jacob. Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass.
And it shall come to pass, which will happen. Go ahead.
When thou shalt have dominion.
When thou shalt have dominion. When you have rulership, just like you have rulership today. Read on.
That thou shalt break his yoke.
That thou shalt break the yoke. Where you have a little respect for them, my brother. It's a half brother, whatever. You know, you ain't go come wrong him, you ain't go rape him, you know, you ain't go shoot him down in the streets, you ain't go hang him on a tree. You know, kind of way. You ain't go do them things to him. But hear what the Lord saying about this character, this person here. Read on.
From off thy neck.
Oh, read it again. When you shall break the yoke of her.
And thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
And thou shalt break the yoke. You want to hear nothing about, brother. Read on.
Verse 41.
Now, that's it. You understand? So that's what the Lord trying to show you about this person here. The Lord saying that, he's saying it. And he created them. And he's the potter. He created these vessels on them, but he know it is. You try, that's today I thinking about that. You trying to make, everybody trying to make the crooked straight. And all kind of fairy tale and all of this. Stop doing your brother and your sister that. When you do this, you're putting them in harm's way because you're telling them, here, going now. This person, he ain't doing that. You seen it in front of your face, now. But he ain't doing that now. Well, how wicked we could be again? How, you understand? How we learn to hate each other this much, to not warn somebody about the destructive characteristics of our race, of our people.
The
And the Lord, and here we're going, and all that the Lord still ain't say go and kill them, you know. Defend yourself, you know, but the Lord still ain't saying go and take up weapons and rise up against them and do that. He trying to tell you you're going on. Outside of my house, outside of my protection, this is what has happened to you. And that is what so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians must understand. That is all we say.
I hear you all. Anyhow, I will listen to all your offer. I will call back in again. I'll call here.
No problem, right? The number to the school is 290-5173. Again, thanks for calling. Appreciate it, right?
All right.
Anybody else? No problem again. Thanks for calling, Bridget. Easy.
Yeah,
man. Right? So that is what we're trying to show all you understand? This is what the men above us letting us understand. We have a job to go and get your brothers and them, get them to help them to understand what's taking place. This is what our leaders do. This is what Christ was doing. Christ walking on the earth and trying to help people understand this. This is, it ain't hard. Come back to daddy house. Come back to father house. It all kind of thing there. White is we running all over the place. Helter-skelter like headless chicken. We running up in the politics. We running up in this. We running up in that every time. And it continue to fail you and just destroying me more and more. The gangs and them, you understand, is one sit down madness. Give me Isaiah chapter 51, Baba Kusha. This thing important, yo. The Lord trying to show you something, yo. Let me pay attention, oh gosh. It right inside the book, like we book. The thing is, when we read our Bible, hear the sweet thing about it, so-called black, Hispanic, Native Indian, man and woman. When you open that Bible and read it, you seeing the things in them that right outside the doorstep. This is nothing that far. You understand? There's no fairy tale. This is Afghanistan somewhere. This is in Beetham. This is in John. This is in Lavantil. You understand? This is in Silots. This is in Belmont. This is in the Congo. You understand? This is in Valencia. This is in Grandi. You understand? This is down Toko. This is down Tucupita. You understand? This is in Peru. This is in Colombia. Everywhere we is this same thing facing we. Everywhere that putting a sign, the Lord said these things will be upon you. This here go be a tattoo then. We don't take tattoos, you understand? But this here go on your skin so people go know by die them. That is them. That's who we talking about. Yo, you understand? Come back to life, yo. Did I what the Lord trying to tell you? You understand? Choose life and death. Have no middle. Middle, you understand, is death. The so-called middle that's supposed to exist is death. Read on Baba Gasha. And verse 17, Baba Gasha, right? And read down to 23. Boy.
Isaiah chapter 51 and verse 17. Awake and awake, stand up, O Jerusalem, which are drunk at the hand of the Most High, the cup of his fury. The cup of the Lord fury, telling you wake up out of sleep, shake off yourself, you understand? Get to understand what's taking place. You drinking out the cup of the Lord fury and see what's going on, all again gone down, lick down, full of the jail, filling up the jail, everything. Drugs all over the place, you understand? That's the order, that's the thing, that's the madness. You ain't seen no outside your doorstep. Wake up. We don't, Baba Kusha. Thou art drinking the dregs of the cup of trembling.
You drinking the dregs, you understand? Not some cup with a pulp, you know. The dregs, they're straight in here. You're choking when you're drinking it. We don't, Baba Kusha.
And wrung them out. Verse 18. There is none to guide her among all the sons of whom.
Nobody. Every time you have an issue, you have leaders that them hush them out. This is what we're talking about. This is not the truth. Where your so-called black leaders and them? Where your Hispanic leaders and them? Where your Native Indian leaders and them? Where they is? Nobody to guide you. Not a soul care. Not a soul have an answer. That's why they mouth hush. When they open them out, you fall in. And these times they go reveal who they is. Failure. You know this. We done, Baba Kisha.
She had brought forth. Neither is there any that taketh her by the hand of all the sons that she had brought up.
You understand? Nobody, none of your sons of them capable. All of them going down the pipeline, all of them going through, you understand? They're in leadership positions and all that, but they empty. You done, Baba Kusha?
Verse 19. These two things are come unto thee. Who shall be sorry for thee?
Who go be sorry for you? You know today. This is Isaiah. Look at it. Somebody look up the timeline. They before Christ's time. Before Christ, the prophet and them laying, you know, this is what going on with you. And it could be worse, you understand? In days to come, it could be worse, you know this. And that time, you get a taste. And prophesying and laying, you know, boy, this is your future, boy, because if you continue going down that path, of course, you see how they say history repeat itself? Imagine every time you come back here, you understand? Because regeneration exists. The same man, the same spirit here, we come back. How you was before, you come back again. Every time you spiral, you get worse. Every time you spiral, you come again, you get worse. You understand? Every age, it get worse, worse and worse and worse. Come now, man. Read on, Baba Kesha.
Desolation and destruction.
Desolation, you're empty. Look up the desolation, the place empty, it had nothing in it. They have no wisdom, they have no guidance, they have no understanding, they have no nothing, no structure, no nothing. That was taking place outside their daddy house, outside their father house, outside the Israelite school of universal practical knowledge. You understand? They have no hope. It's just destruction, just waste, just madness. People trying to survive. If you ask them, you understand, well, boy, how you going to really go down the pathway doing something? They don't have no plan. They don't have nothing. There's everybody throwing sticking thing on the wall, throwing a piece of mortar on the wall and see if we can stick. They have a way to do it. The Lord line, you know it, have a way to do it. That is what sending men. We don't Baba Kisha.
And the farming.
Destruction, you understand? You don't know, it's all kind of different things. If it isn't financial, you understand, is stress. Because the way eating all kind of thing contributing to it. And of course you're under oppression. So you can barely make ends meet, so you're always worried. Then on top of that, people getting with each other right should die. Why the murder rate so high? You know that a man like, you know, I'm not going through that, and then somebody saying, well, I would have spot too because my people suffering too. Or I would have bling, you understand? Whatever the case is. And that's greedy. But really and truly, boy, if you was in Solomon time, you're going Solomon's servant. When the Queen of Sheba come across by Solomon, she thinking Solomon's servant is Solomon. Everybody having. Everybody blinging, you understand? This General Jeremiah break down that last week. Last week or week before in our class, you understand? Everybody having. In my father's house have many mansion. Not no fairy tale. Not the life after in my operation, in my framework, and how I tell it to live. You not go and suffer. That is what the Lord trying to let you know. He tell Peter and them, he say, oh, go on in this life and in the life to come, in the regeneration. I go gear back, you understand, where you lose. You ain't rocking at me for nothing. It's not, you understand, after life and somebody's telling you a dream and they're doing all the wickedness to you following while they're here and you're not concerning yourself with no kind of development, no growth, no coming together, nothing. So you divided and thinking that okay, when really and truly your forces getting mashed up, it's war. And you're getting destroyed. And that is what the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man missing because you're walking dead. We clueless, you understand? We don't, Baba Gasha.
And the sword, by whom shall I comfort thee? Verse 20.
Who I go comfort? Who I go comfort you? Nobody feeling sorry for your need. Nobody. All the other races watching you and smiling and laughing and thinking and playing games and politics and all that. Nothing. You know this? Who they're talking about? Who else it could be? Some ghosts? They're not blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians? Come now, man. We know this. We don't, Baba Kisha.
Verse 20. Thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets.
Your sons fainted. They're on the corners everywhere. That way it is. Everybody on the block. Looking for food, looking for something. Getting themselves in all kind of garbage because they're idle. Your sons fainted. They have no strength. If they had strength in them, you know, you follow, you know what they'll be doing? Building up the communities. Doing this, being more productive thing because their mind wasn't in the right frame of mind. But nobody in the right frame of mind because they without the wisdom of the Lord. They're outside of their father house, so they have nothing passing down. That's what has happened when their grandfather and their grandmothers passed down knowledge on how to do this, how to deal with wounds, how to deal with that, how to cook this, use vulva and use that. Come now, man. Who that is? Who that is? Who not getting that? Who not getting businesses passed down to them? We done, Baba Kisha.
As a wild bull in a net.
As a wild bull in a net. You're real strong. You're all the juice. Brothers out there understand they could. They're very, very skillful. They could like young man from a distance. Talk about war. We're supposed to be warlike, but not so. You kill not your own army. What sense that make? You like a wild bull in a net. You chop up. Lord disrespecting you too because you're stupid. Right now we have a very dunce mindset. We understand without knowledge. We without, you understand, the basic things for life. And we talking a set of madness and thinking we in the right frame of mind. You follow? That is all are we coming out of this. That is to show how merciful the Lord is. Because nobody could have been saying nothing and all are we walking around the place just walking off a cliff somewhere and we ain't seen. Blind leading the blind. But there's a way. Cheese on bread. If black people could only get this, if all they could just share this to all their people, and somebody say, boy, what the hell? You really and truly and just shake up yourself and see. But wait now, what really taking place? But we too caught up. That is why we can't see it. That spell that them religious leaders and whoever put over, we very strong. Because that is the only way we believe we can live. Sadly. And I know, I mean, we living, we dying. We dying. We done, Baba Kisha.
They are full of the fury of the Most High.
Full of the fury of the Lord. They are real strong to them. Talk about killing, they could kill. But boy, the head empty. All brawn and no brains. We done, Baba Gasha.
The rebuke of thy power.
They rebuke the correction of your power, the correction of your God. Since you didn't want to do it my way, well, let me see if you go make it. Let me see if you go, you handle yourself. Prison full. Everybody dying. Your brother thing, they look sharp. Somebody, some innocent youth. Remember the innocent youth man the other day, 17 years old. Full, I think he now graduate. Full, intelligent young man, a red man. Dead. Gone in the car, family in wherever the case is, or they take him for somebody, wherever the case is, dead. And everybody crying over that good youth man thing, that good soul loss. Reading in the Bible, like we feel like that's supposed to be normal. In Solomon time, and 40 years, it had any uprising and wars and murders? 40 years, so like that can't happen. And we talking about black people. There's maybe something so strange to you, the truth. Something so strange to you. You doing all manner of madness and all manner of evil, and you thinking, oh boy, like this can't exist. Like we can't really live and think and operate professional, you understand, as brothers. And black people can't come together. We don't go ahead, but go ahead, for sure.
And that good thing I want to bring up with King Solomon, because like, you know, now I want to know, like, hey, if King Solomon could have fight like his father and the king before, like Saul and David, because you know what? When I say like, hey, Saul killed tens of thousands, David killed tens of, no, they never say that about Solomon, because
right.
Solomon come with that different spirit and
normal. Correct.
They didn't say no if King Solomon could have fight.
Then the thing is, even if King Solomon could have fight, they didn't record it because King Solomon, as the brother saying, and if all like catch what you know say, with something extremely heavy, he come with a different order and level. You know how normal we are supposed to operate. When you get rid of all them influences and all them other races, you understand, trying to kill we, the African trying to kill we here because that's who they is, the Philistines and Africans, right? When you get rid of all the distraction and we could set up a place on them, this is how we just operate. King Solomon left no sword, he just give an order. We're going to this idiot here. We playing. Boy, everybody laughing, but we laugh at you. We ship it all. We trying. You understand? That's how it's supposed to be. Like, you have to be out of your mind. You have to be stupid. You understand? To try some kind of evil thing, some kind of sin. For what? What we doing that for? You follow? And that is how we have to see it, so-called black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, woman. Right? Give me Proverbs 6 before we think. 6 Baba Gushan, verse 16, because this is where you learn from your oppressor. All these nasty conniving ways and lying and setting up this one and that one and all that, the Lord hate that. So just in case now, anybody see it and think, well, that okay, the more people start to stray from that and start to come on the right pathway, understand, and then call we up and find out what's going on, look for wherever the Israelite School or Universal Practical Knowledge, wherever. You might have a cousin in the school somewhere living in the States or some kind of thing. Link with them, you see that link with Trinidad. Link, you understand, thing, organize if you get fly out and go there, find you, like you do more thing there, link, just do it. We don't care. We just care that you think you can do. You follow? Yeah, me don't care if nobody like me. You understand? No problem. I not here for likes. I here for we to get the damn thing do. Like what we supposed to be on. Just now, let me take this call real quick, right? Yeah, call afternoon times, what going on?
Good evening.
Yeah, brother, afternoon times, what going on?
Like all you know, it's here and there and everywhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
In years. But I want to get it somewhere. Where is Jerusalem and Mount Zion? Where would you find places?
Jerusalem, you understand, is the capital of Israel. That still is where it is today. You understand? At least I think so. But you're going 290-5173. Call that number. There's the number to the school in Trinidad here and ask all the questions. But right now we are about to wrap up, so I want to give them this little bit of thing here, right? But definitely good question. Thanks for calling. We definitely appreciate it. Right? Any question, history of the cases, come in the class, all of that. We have classes online too. The One West, ISUPK online classes. You could tune in on a Monday and a Thursday and ask questions as well. With men that very, very experienced with that wealth and knowledge and come and get the kind of solutions from experienced men as well. You follow? Feel free to tap in. No problem at all. We did Baba Kusha because we have about 5 minutes again, right? Mm-hmm.
Proverbs chapter 6.
Verse 16.
And verse 16.
Go ahead.
These 6 things do the Most High hate.
Mm-hmm.
Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him.
So the Lord laying you straight up here is the kind of things I hate. What is happening with black people today? What you was never supposed to learn. I hate them things. I don't deal with that. Die for clown, die for idiot. Read on Baba Kusha.
Verse 17, a proud look.
A proud look, proud. You ranking on people about. Read on Baba Kusha.
A lying tongue.
A lying tongue, you understand? Go ahead.
Hands that shed innocent blood.
Hands that shed innocent blood. You shipping? We killing out your own army for. We do here. Calm down yourself. Have some decorum about yourself. You can fix that a different way. But we understand, first the Bible practical. A man do you something, you could do so and get back the things and I'm here TTT from you. What's the problem?
The street. 919 FM.
I heard that despite wicked. I hear when every time people are getting thanks for tuning in, you call the number for the school at 290-5173.
Balance between entertainment and talk.